Vladimir Putin signs law making Russian apps mandatory on smartphones and computers. So we talked about how there was a new, a kind of disconnection from the global internet, a development, a change in the way that Russia wanted to interact with the internet, an ability to have better control. I believe they
Splinternet.
Splinternet. Splinternet. Splinternet. That's right. You love that word.
It's a cool word.
Well, Splinternet makes you think of Splinter
Yes.
from Ninja Turtles.
I
Splinter.
don't know about that, but
Splinter. You don't remember Splinter?
of course, yeah.
Hey, man, don't be rude in here.
It doesn't take me there though. I just think of like
Splinter is the rat, man.
I know, yeah.
No, you know, the thing is you don't. It's offensive. You might as well take the sandwich and eat it somewhere else because you're being that rude right now. Splinter is an important figure. Without Splinter, you got no Ninja Turtles. He trains the turtles.
Yes, in the sewer
Correct.
with his stick and a robe.
Hey, man,
You know, that's
don't make fun of Splinter.
I'm not making fun of him. He's cool.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have respect.
And he's wise. What is he? Splinter is like Ninja Turtles Yoda, sort of. He's slow and he's old, but in a fight, all the rules change.
Yeah.
In a fight,
He
it's new
explodes.
animation.
Yeah.
Things are flowing.
Yeah.
Things are flowing in a fight. It's slow and it's sore in daily life, but then in a fight, it's a different story. And Yoda has the same thing going on. He's got the cane, but then in a fight, he's 22 years old again.
Yeah.
Imagine you had that capability, Will. Because I see you creaking around the office.
Yeah. Just
But then a fight breaks out, and I'm like, this man is animated. All of a sudden, the joints start flowing.
oh yeah.
The fish oil kicks in.
I'm doing backflips. My hip doesn't hurt anymore.
So Splinter, Splinter Net is what we're talking about. And so this idea, I believe what Russia was calling it is internet sovereignty, control over the domestic internet. And of course, we've seen similar things to this. We have the China example, the Great Firewall that we're aware of. This one likely to operate differently. But increasingly, countries are looking at these kinds of concepts. And this is a very direct way of changing the landscape and the ecosystem by making it mandatory for smartphones and computers to carry specific Russian apps. Well, because obviously, in that case, the government gets to influence what those apps happen to be. Now, the premise is that it's going to make life easier for smartphone buyers because they're going to need these apps anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you could read this from the other angle, which is, well, of course you want me to have those apps. Those apps are in line with whatever the agenda happens to be. And so the country's mobile phone market is dominated by foreign companies, including Apple, Samsung, and Huawei. The legislation signed by Putin said the government would come up with a list of Russian applications that would need to be installed on different devices. So you could also, I guess, make the argument that from a internet sovereignty or technology sovereignty standpoint, that when you're letting all this foreign hardware into the country, and if you are, for whatever reason, apprehensive about that, possibly through the installation of specific apps, you could enable some form of monitoring of that hardware and what it's doing. I don't know. That would seem like a possibility. The law has been presented as a way to help Russian IT firms compete with foreign companies and spare consumers from having to download software upon purchasing a new device. So that's the way it's being pitched publicly. It's like, look, your life gets easier and more Russians get jobs creating apps for these devices because now there's a market for it and they don't necessarily have to compete with the pre-existing apps, but instead the Russian version can prevail and succeed. It's not all that different than the idea of keeping jobs local and encouraging domestic manufacturing, for example. This could be trying to encourage domestic app development. But of course, there's going to be criticism, as there would be, as there always is. Mm-hmm. This story coming via Reuters, one of your favorite news sources to pronounce.
Yeah, it's not
So go ahead.
It's Reuters, right?
Routers.
Routers.
That's what you said the one time. So yeah, the world it's becoming, there's a little bit of factioning going on. But hey man, in the US, they're saying you're not bringing Huawei in here. That's kind of a technology sovereignty. It's in the same realm.
Yeah.
It's controlling your domestic marketplace. It's not a completely free market there either.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be clear, now you get to perceive it as you will and as you wish. But this is what's going on in the world of technology. And the manufacturers, if you think about it from their perspective, who has to do the installation? They do. So imagine now you're Samsung, you're sitting over there, you're in South Korea. You got the fast internet, you got the K-pop, you got the barbecue, you got the fried chicken,
Yes.
you got
Very
the chicken
delicious.
wings.
Oh yeah.
So the spicy chicken wings, Korean spicy chicken wings, a different level of spice.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you never had them?
Um,
They come over to you. They take one look at me. I go in there. They take one look at me like, you don't want that.
you don't want the Korean spice.
They say, I'm like, can I please get some chicken wings in here? They don't, get out. You don't want this. Guy like you. I say, hey,
Ease up.
hey,
Relax.
let's take a second here. You know, I could have, this could be what I want. And I go, okay, fine. And then they give it to me and I'm dying. I'm dead on the floor.
Yeah.
And the K-pop's playing in the background and I'm dying. I'm convulsing on the floor.
Yeah.
So they got really spicy. But no, I'm just joking. If you go to a Korean chicken wing place, they'll give you the option. You can have the spicy, the not spicy. So shout out Korean chicken place.